All right, y'all. So look, I spend a lot of time critiquing and dissecting other people and social issues. But if y'all would allow me to think out loud and think through this with you guys, please do so. Let me start off by saying what's about to come out of my mouth. I don't know if it's necessarily my final stance or not. I'm just thinking out loud and I'm walking you guys through my thought process. So the question I have is, why is it that whitewashed black people bother me? Okay? And in 2018, guys, on the surface, I know that some people are going to be offended by the sheer virtue of that question. What is a whitewashed black person? We all come in many different shades. People can't help how they were raised. And I get all of that. What I'm trying to get down to is, despite all of that, why does it bother me? And let me start out by defining what a whitewashed black person is. For the sake of this argument, a black person that takes up primary residence in white spaces. You know, like, if you hanging out with your white friends and like, you like, fuck, this Saturday I gotta go to the white people club with them. And then you get there and it's like the one black boy in the corner that knows everybody in the club. And you can tell that while you're vacationing here, he lives here, like that kid. Or the girl that everybody in middle school or high school had the Queen Latifah Salt and Pepper magazine, and she had the, you know, Marie Claire magazine, you know what I'm saying? Or the guy in college that only went to the white fraternity parties and he was the token Negro amongst the white fraternities. Or the black boy that pledged the white fraternities when you got the Divine Nine over here. Like, y'all don't make me feel crazy, right? Like, we all know what I'm deeming a whitewashed black person is. Now, let me start out by saying, I think there are several circumstances that create a whitewashed black person. Number one, I want to give some sort of credit and allowance to those people who cannot help the environments in which they were raised in. Like, when we're kids, elementary school age, those are very formative years. Okay, and if you've got parents that for whatever reason have black parents that have moved into like all white environments and their child has no choice but to grow up with nothing but white people, then I totally understand how that person leans towards or favors white culture. I totally get that. And I'm fine with it because you just can't help it. Your parents, in my eyes, fucked you up. But we'll debate that later. But then again, I think there's the other person, and maybe this is where my bother begins to come in. There's the other person who, like, bitch, I went to elementary school with you and middle school with you, and you got the most black down home family I know. Why are you over here talking like Hillary Banks and flipping your hair behind your ears like a white girl? Then there's that girl. Or the girl that she was your best friend in high school and in middle school, but then she goes off to college and come back and she's like talking in this voice that you don't like recognize, and like all of a sudden fried chicken and collard greens is like ghetto, and she eats like kale salad and quiche. There's that girl. And as I was getting ready to press the record button on this camera, I came up with the fact that outside of, I guess, my own ignorance, I think the true reason, or one of the true reasons that it bothers me so, is because I can't classify you. I can't classify you as friend, or foe. And as I start to think about it, I think that's the root of why it gets under my skin. Because at least with white folks, the ones I'm adversarial with and the ones I love, they're still in a box. And I know where to put them. I know how to deal with them. And I manage my expectations of them based on them being in this box. But with you looking like me, but not being like me, I don't know which box to put you in. I want to give you credit, and I don't want to put you over here in their box, because their box, the white people box in my life, it's a very cautionary box. It ain't negative. It's just a very, proceed with caution over here. My black people box, it's a little more relaxed. I feel a little more secure, and I feel a little safer. So with you looking like me, arbitrarily, I want to throw you in the box. But with you sounding, acting, and adopting ways like them, I'm like, so I think maybe that's where the root of my discomfort begins. And as I'm thinking through this even more, maybe it has less to do with skin color and more to do with cultural practices and behaviors. Because now that I think about it, I've got some white and Hispanic friends who I guess during the Great Miami Migration, their parents couldn't make it out of the black neighborhood. So they ended up growing up around all black people. And when you listen to them and when you interact with them, it's the black experience. They feel like they had the black experience. And if you close your eyes, you would think they were black. Y'all all know what I'm talking about. Please don't make me feel crazy. I'm talking about the John B's of the world. I'm talking about the pit bulls of the world. It's weird because though they don't look like me, I would be more willing to put them in the black box before I would put Carlton Banks in my black box. I'd be more apt to put Carlton Banks over the trade Carlton Banks for them. And guys, this is so nuanced. So as I'm thinking about it, maybe it has less to do with skin culture and more to do with relatability. I don't know. Like, y'all help me think through this. But it bothers me. As I conclude and I have to round out this argument, I have to give credence to the fact that we've got to live in a world where we start to move away from these one-dimensional views of people, right? Like, I understand and I know that black people come in different shades, colors, experiences, backgrounds, socioeconomic statuses. I'm not an idiot. I am a very smart person. I get all of that. But what I'm talking about is the feelings that we still have despite of the fact. Like, despite the fact that I know there are rich black people who have never eaten a collard green, doesn't know what Frankie Beverly and Maze is or the electric slide is. I know that they exist. I know that there's a lot of them. You know what I'm saying? But it doesn't change the way it makes me feel. And I guess that's what I'm trying to get to. Where is that bridge that the facts begin to shape the feelings? What's that middle ground and how do we get there? Let me also say and clarify, in terms of me feeling a way, I don't want anyone to think that I feel disdain for or I look down on what I deem as whitewashed black people. They just make me uncomfortable. And if I have my way, I just kind of choose to stay on my side of the room because A, I don't want to associate with you, and these people in this room think you and I are one and the same. And not that what you are is bad and what I am is good, but it just makes me uncomfortable being associated with that identity because I'm not like the Hillary Banks type, like, or I'm not like the black friend that's going to like suppress his blackness to like make your white parents feel good at their white Thanksgiving dinner. Like, I'm real black. Like, I'm like unapologetic. You can't hide that he black. Like, might slip up and be like, okay, at your Thanksgiving dinner with your nice white Catholic family. Like, yeah, I'm not the black guy that you bring home for dinner if he has to conform to like, you know, and now we eat with our salad fork, and I'm just not that dude. Nonetheless, this is getting lengthy, and I just wanted to think out loud. Again, I'm not final in any of these thoughts. This is just my thought process, and I wanted to share with you guys just to give you a more, you know, in-depth look at when I be in here losing sleep and my brain be racing, what be going on. At any rate, don't forget, like and subscribe. Y'all, my subscribers is going up. We about to be rich, bitch. And when we do, I'm going to spread the wealth with all of y'all, with the ones I like, not the whitewash kind. The kind like this and not like this. Let me get off the line. I'll call you later. Bye.